We're previewing Manchester United's next match against Arsenal in the FA Cup third round proper, sir. We're going to the Emirates in North London. First time in the FA Cup this year where EPL and Championship sides appear, and somehow we got Arsenal. Talk about a crooked draw, but either way, it's a big game for United, who are coming off a good result, a good draw against the Scousers at the shitbox over the weekend, but we have a week off. The team is, piece by piece, very, very challenging season. FA Cup, we are the holders at the moment, but this is, if you look at it, it's the number one team with the most FA Cups, followed by the second most team with FA Cups. I think Arsenal have 14. I think we have 13 after our win last May against the City Blues. But it's a big game for United. Hard opponent, right? We've had no good luck against Arsenal recently, and tough ground as well to be playing at the Emirates. They find a voice recently. Haven't won much. We've won more in the last since they hired Arteta. But either way, they're going to be looking to pick up an FA Cup. That is the one silverware he has won as manager of Arsenal. Sir, how are you feeling about this game? It's a big one for United. I think it's time to get a win. We've been scrapping together some draws, the big draw against Liverpool, but I think this game, if United goes out there and plays the way we can play, why can't we win it?
Look, we just need to build upon the Scouse Bastard result. 2-2 away at Anfield is a huge result, and as far as the FA Cup goes, look, it's a good opponent, and it's one that we need to play the same way we did against Liverpool, against Arsenal, and we need to take it to them. We can't be afraid. We need to see the same intensity and competitive mindset that Amorim, realized, and then also chastised the lads in the post-game interview, saying he was mad. Why can't we play like that every week? This is another opportunity to play like that. Also another opportunity for that a core 11, I think we saw at Liverpool, to play together again in that same system. So again, this is about United. This is United versus United. It's United versus the world as well. But we got to focus on ourselves, because when we show up with the right mentality, right system, and the right attitude, things start clicking. And that never say die attitude actually does work. So United needs to come out fit and firing away at the Emirates.
That's it. I think we have to go out there. We got to play our game. We got to bring it to Arsenal and play with the confidence that we can take it to them. I think that's the one thing. There's been a lot of themes that we've seen under this new manager over the last 2 months since he's been appointed as the main man at Old Trafford. And I think one of the things is like sometimes I think the team can play better than they had in that individual circumstance, because they just don't have the confidence that they are able to sit up and play against an Arsenal, against a City, against a Liverpool. So I think if United can kind of gain from the result on the weekend against Liverpool, where they outperformed expectations, and they do the same thing and just try and take it to Arsenal, we have to be very, very concerned about set pieces. That was our undoing a couple months ago when we lost to them early in the season,
and they're very good at them.
They're super good at corners, and we're terrible at defending corners. So that is going to be the big moment to keep an eye on. But I think we can take it to them. If you looked at the game that we did lose, 6 weeks ago, all of their efforts, all of their danger came from set pieces and corners. So if we can minimize that and show up and go to play our game, hey, who knows, sir? FA Cup, I'll take another FA Cup. Why not?
They're wounded after a draw against Brighton. They're trying to contend for the title race. We actually helped them out by drawing Liverpool away. Regardless, don't like Arteta, don't like Arsenal. Boy, do they think they're a big deal. They have won absolutely nothing. But quick PSA for the podcast, sir. You like the American Red Devils? Please check out our YouTube channel. Just got our channel off the ground this summer. Over 1,000 subscribers. We're trying to get to 2,000 now. We got that growth mindset. What can you do for the Muppet Take? You can smash the subscribe button, hit like, let us know what you think about the Gunners. Give us your score predictions in the comments below. We're having a blast doing the YouTube thing. Please support us. It helps hack the algorithm to get this in front of other Manchester United fans. So you're actually doing them a favor. Please check out our YouTube channel. Just search American Red Devils. Also check out our Patreon page. We have a great Patreon community, over 100 members, patreon.com/American Red Devils. Go the extra mile, support the podcast, help us fund an all-expensive paid trip for a Wout Weghorst to fly to California so I can run the 100-yard dash.
Start training, sir.
I'm starting to train. I was doing some leg day today, lifting the legs, getting ready for that 100-yard dash against Wout Weghorst. What kind of rider do you think he's going to have? He has nothing going on.
What kind of rider? Oh, stroopwafel, sir.
Help the podcast afford that trip for Wout Weghorst coming out. Also, check out our store. We got scarves. We got trucker hats. Trucker hats are flying off the shelves. We're going to have to order more. We're almost sold out. Shirts, hoodies, beanies, stickers, blankets, everything you need to support the greatest team in the world. Check out americadevils.store, sir. americadevils.store, americadevils.com. We have great community blogs here. Everything you need for the Muppet Take, sir. And also check out our podcast on iTunes and Spotify. And also, if you leave a 5-star review, sir, you can get some
free merch. All you have to do is write a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify. It goes a long way to support the pod. Help us get found by the top Muppets like yourself. And if you take a screenshot of that review on Spotify or iTunes and send a screenshot to americadevils@gmail.com with your mailing address, and I'll personally pick, pack, and ship some free ARD gear. Send it right to your door anywhere in the world, sir. Big game next Sunday at the Emirates. So we're going to North London. Let's get into it.
That's right, sir. It's the Gunners. Sunday, January 12th, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Don't like them.
Nope.
Emirates Stadium, not too shabby, sir. We went... we do a lot of trips to the UK, watch some games. One of the greatest games we've ever seen. Brighton coming to town against Arsenal at the Emirates.
Cooked them.
Brighton stealing their title hopes. That was like when they lost the title that year, and it was so great because all the fans were moaning and they were so upset, and we were like, don't worry, Arteta's the best. He's going to bring us back. I felt like we were behind enemy lines.
You're trolling. You're trolling so hard, sir. John.
They make him soft in North London, both at Tottenham Hotspur and at the Emirates. So now that we're on YouTube, they're going to be looking out for us in the stands. We can't troll them like we could before. Give me the weather.
You don't have to worry, sir. It's still soft North London. It's nothing to worry about. The weather, we're not going to have to worry about a snow out. It's not going to be like it was up in Liverpool. We're talking low 40s, 6 degrees Celsius, be low 40s and clear. Alex's Scran Watch, where are we eating? We're in London. We know it a little bit better than some of the places we have to travel to. We're going to the Golden Union Fish Bar. It's downtown. It's right in Soho, right in the middle of everything. It's not your classic mom and pop fish shop. A little bit nicer. Great spot to grab a nice plate of khaki food, fried cod, fried chips. Get me some mushy peas. Get me some vinegar.
It's great.
Get me some tart. No, it's excellent.
Soho, it's like the Golden. It's not near the Emirates at all, but it is in London.
All. But you know what? I already gave you the one spot I know by the Emirates. We're checking it out.
This is like
the
ARD.
This is the ARD staple
spot. And then looking at the FA Cup, it is the third round of the FA Cup. First time the championship and EPL teams are coming in, and luck of the draw, we're playing Arsenal away.
Luck of the draw. Yeah, bullshit.
So this is not a great
FA. What a
not
joke.
The best result, but if you look at how we played with a week's rest against the best team in the league, maybe the doctor is telling us we need less cup competition, sir. I don't know. We're going to play our hearts out. We just need to fight for this badge. We got to focus on ourselves and let the chips fall where they may. But make no mistake, it was 1-4 to draw an EPL team, and we drew one of the top 4. So a bad draw, and this could make or break our FA Cup run.
It could, and obviously it's a big match, right? The two top teams who have won the most FA Cups in their history, and we're the holders. So that's also fun. It's also like, forget the EFL Cup. FA Cup is a proper cup, end of May. You want to be going there. It was fun to win it. I wouldn't mind winning it again, and I certainly wouldn't mind beating up Arteta, because this is a team who's been playing very good football over the last 5 years, much better than Manchester United, but you would have thought, Liverpool were a little arrogant considering they only won one title. These guys are almost as arrogant, and they haven't won dog shit. So they need to get a little humility. As Holland said, stay humble, sir. I think Arteta just stay humble. That guy's flapping his arms like he's trying to take off. Sorry, like he's trying to turn himself into an airplane. But either way, I want to beat him. I don't care for him, and I don't care for. I think their fans have gotten really full of themselves considering all they've won is FA Cup. Which guess what? Everton Hog also won an FA Cup. So what does that?
That's
mean?
a big deal.
It is, but
it was
by the
way, a Derby FA Cup against your bitter rival.
It was great.
It was a big win. Now, the best part about the FA Cup competition is it includes the full football pyramid, and there still are 2 teams from the National League, which is basically like the 5th tier of English football. Dangham and Redbridge Road and Tamworth.
We didn't get them, dude.
Sign me up to Tamworth Rovers. You know, the nickname the Lambs. I mean, this is what English football is all about. So you can play for the Lambs and go all the way up and win the Premier League, you know, and this is just kind of one of the things about the FA Cup that we love. It was also the first trophy in English football. This was kind of what kicked things off way back in the late 1800s. This is what the FA founded and the first trophy in football. So there's a lot of history behind it. It has come. It used to be bigger than the league title. That's now, right. Obviously, since the dawning of the Premier League, that is kind of the biggest trophy, and then the FA Cup has taken a back seat. But there's a lot of history here. I love what it does for the football pyramid, and it's just something that you got to enjoy. Cup competitions are really special. This one, a little more special than Carabao Energy Drink Cup.
Yeah, they haven't sold the naming rights yet, where you get to name the cup. But like you said, oldest cup competition. Back in the other, not the last turn of the century, but the turn of the century before that, it was the Premier Cup that you wanted to win, even, like you said, above the league. So it's a big deal. United, we just won one. Let's win another one. I wouldn't mind stacking. I wanted as many opportunities for this season to get some gloss on it. This is a season of rebuild. This is a season of making the most out of a really, really tough start to the year, firing your manager, bringing in the new guy. But, I want to go far in the Europa League. I want to go far in the FA Cup. And I would love to be poor man's Pep, at the Emirates, because they just get so, I don't know. They just act like they've been there before, bro. Like they haven't even won a Champions League. And it's like they act like they're like a huge deal club. Let's humble them. Let's humble Arteta. Come on, please.
No, I mean, to date us, we remember Arteta playing for the Gunners against Manchester United when we were a big rival. So, I've never really rated Arteta. He went to Everton, floundered out. Then he basically rode Pep's wings to Arsenal, where he's getting lots of praise for winning absolutely nothing, sir. He did win the FA Cup, and he would love to win one because he's dying for a trophy. The pressure is building against him. For some reason, all the Gunners think he is the man. I think he's the man before the man. I think they got a great team, but it takes a lot to win the FA Cup or any league at this point. So tell us about Mikel Arteta. Tell us what we don't know.
We know a fair bit about the 42-year-old Basque manager, another one of the Basque talents coming out of that region of Spain. Obviously, he was a Pep protege. You mentioned his time at Everton City, of course. He likes a style of play that is based on flexibility and a focus on possession. His defensive strategy, they're always compact, strong defensive effort, big threat from corners. We talked about that. We should expect to see that once again. That was something they leaned into. I thought they were trying to get corners when we played them a couple months ago in the season. And then this is something I just thought was funny because we saw it when they did the Amazon show, psychological tools. He likes to use psychological tools in games, like his rabbit duck illusion, to embed deeper life lessons within the game. He's a nut.
Hey, if it works, you're a genius. If it doesn't, then you're a moron.
Yeah, if it works for Pep. But the problem is
the
he's
light
too
bulb,
emotional.
like the speakers.
He's too emotional, bro. He's too emotional.
Of course he is. So what happens if you have a coach who's too emotional? I think Amorim's a good on the line. But if he's too emotional, he's waving his arm. It's if you watch him in person too. When you go to the games, you see him on the touchline. He's a
crazy.
raving lunatic.
No, it's actually nuts.
I feel like that puts more pressure on a young team. Somebody's got to act like they've been there before, right? You can't have the players be young and not have done it, and then you can't have the manager and not have done it. So it's you need somebody who can steady the ship. I think Arsenal is just in those moments when it gets tough, they get a little too nervy, and that's ultimately what has been their downfall. Walk me through their summer signings here.
They spent big on a left back. Calafiori came in from Bologna FC, your favorite team to talk about, sir. They also got Marino, older central midfielder out of Real Sociedad. Speaking of the Basque country, sir, speaking of San Sebastian. But they still haven't gotten their striker. So they got Sterling in.
What happened
on loan? I don't know.
He's not.
We were looking at him for a while. So they spent big on left back. I think they still need a killer number 9. We've talked about that. Saka's out. Saka is injured for a couple months. So he is a big threat, I have to say.
Odegaard just came back. He's out of form. we're kind of catching Arsenal at a unique time here. Last 5 EFL Cup, they beat Crystal Palace 3-2, conceding a lot. In the league, they beat them 5-1. They nudged Ipswich 1-0.
That was close, though. That was a close
And
game.
then Brentford 3-1. They just got their wings clipped by Brighton 1-1. It's almost like a wounded Arsenal, and the benefit for United not being in Carabao Cup is that we don't have to play midweek, which Arsenal does. They got a semifinal leg one Tuesday, and then a tight turnaround coming in to playing Manchester United. So it actually works in our favor here on the fixtures and the scheduling. So that is one positive. We will have more rest, and we are away. But we arguably played the hardest place to play away in the country and did pretty well. So I think the Emirates should be a far cry from Anfield.
No, it's 100% right. I mean, what did Ruben Amorim say after that 2-2 draw against Liverpool in the first place? Frustration, because he doesn't see this fight and tenacity and organization from this team more. This should be an opportunity for us to show up because it's a big game against a big opponent, in a competition that we want to be winning. And Arsenal, I think they're there to be humbled. I know they're better than that we are. They got better squad, better players, but I think we can catch them out right now because, like you said, they're kind of wounded. Their best player is injured.
I don't know if they have better. We have
better squad. Everyone would argue they have better squad.
Overall, yes, but they just play as a team.
Yeah, like a lot of teams that are playing better than us, like Nottingham Forest.
Yes, but they are so. I feel like we give them a little too much respect. They're on the decline, right? You can only keep that level. Like last year, I think they were probably the best team in the league. They should have won. They played really well last year. This year, they're not playing as well. Like the first year when they blew the title, they shouldn't.
That was
have
the year to win.
It was like they shouldn't have been in it. And then they bottled it, right? But then that follow up year, they played really well and they lost it. And then this is the decline year where this is the year they should win it, and they're not going to, which is like, I'm enjoying that as much as we are in 14th place, seeing Arsenal, who went through the same transition we have, not get it, is also nice to see. Despite maybe the Scouse Bastards winning it, that would be actually rough. But it's just a tough time to be a United fan, sir. We haven't won at the Emirates since 2019. I feel like that is a crime because it's not like that hard of a place to play. We did get hard done by some decisions, though. You remember that Garnacho offside, so... we have only won 4 of the last 5, so we're up against it. We just haven't been good enough.
We haven't been good enough, and they've been playing well. We have not been playing well. We've often crumbled at, I don't want to call them like threatening environments. I wouldn't say it's up there, but they found their voice. There's certainly a lot more voice than they used to be back in the day, but they get loud at the Emirates. They will be loud for this game, but I think if we can go out there and control the midfield like we did against Liverpool and win those 50-50s and really just kind of go out there to play, I think this team is I think Liverpool are way better than this Arsenal team, and they've won stuff, and they have some resiliency.
Fit and Arsenal's fit and organized, and if we shoot ourselves in the foot, it could be a bad day.
It could be ugly. They could smoke us.
You know why? What are bad teams? Bad teams are inconsistent. So
yeah, we're a bad team.
Exactly,
and we're very inconsistent. Player to watch: Gabriel Jesus. Talking about players who didn't make it and didn't get booted to Arsenal. He has been in a bit of form since Saka went down. He scored a couple goals in the last few games, but he'll be the player to watch. He's always frustrated. He always looks like he's just he makes that same face, or he just missed a chance or made the wrong pass. He's a talented player on his day, but I'm not that worried about Gabriel.
All-time bluffer 11. I'm surprised we didn't sign him. That's
Honestly.
my position. All-time bluffer 11. Jesus. He's going to be leading the line. Obviously, Saka's injured. Odegaard just came in. He's out of form. Kai Havertz, you don't like him, but their back line is good.
It is.
And Raya's kind of been up and down. So, look, I think we can get after them. Saka scares me. He's not there. I feel like they're trying to find ways to win without him. That's really kind of been, and then Odegaard not being in form has hurt them. So we got to focus on ourselves. And speaking of ourselves, we saw this 11: Onana in net, Martinez, Magoo, Delit back line, Delo, Menu, Ugarte, Mazraoui, Bruno, Diallo, and Højlund up front. Do you change anything if you're Ruben Amorim?
He probably does not. I mean, maybe one sub, just because Højlund like you always talk about it. He gets into these wrestling matches with players, and he's going to be going against probably the best center back pairing in the league in Gabriel and Saliba. So I don't want him to fall into that trap. I think if you have Xerxes and you play like without a default number 9 and he plays kind of, I don't know, floats with Bruno, maybe that'd be the sub I'd make. You're not making any changes. I'm making one change.
No. Here's the deal.
It's this 11. It's basically this 11.
You have to keep this 11
because the best we played all season.
But I'm gonna make my point, which if you have Højlund, you don't sign Xerxes. Like if you're hire me to be the director of football. It's like if you have a guy who's like not fast enough, who isn't getting in behind, that's not going to scare the back line, then you need somebody to go there, right? And it's like then you hire another slow guy who doesn't even play number 9. So we got nothing we got nothing at the tip of the spear. It's killing us. And you know who should be there? Should be Marcus Rashford. But you know what? We got another add to the pile.
Bad
drama,
attitude.
BS, like holdout manager fight with another player. You know, we're paying Jadon Sancho to score goals for Chelsea right now, or assist great goals to Cole Palmer. And then now we're going to be paying Marcus Rashford to do so. We're like, Marcus Rashford is the profile of player that you need up front. Like a Solanke, somebody you can slip in behind. You have Bruno Fernandes. You got Diallo. He's the double threat.
Yeah, he's not going to do
Kobe Maino's going to slip him in behind. The problem is Højlund's glued to these center backs. Like, it's not Stoke City hold-up play. Like, he's got to be thinking running into the channels. He doesn't do it enough. There's such a disconnect up front. And it's like, and then who's the guy we're going to bring in? Xerxes? He ain't going to do it either. He wants the ball at his feet looking at goal. And then Højlund wants it back to goal. It's like we need someone making runs. We need pace. We need electricity up front. We need to get Osimhen in the January window. So you got to go with this 11. You got to try to... Højlund's got that. But we have habits. We have bad habits, and you're seeing them. And so it's like, while one player might be figuring it out with Garnacho, then you have Højlund kind of just wrestling people out of nowhere, fighting around the world. And this attack is going to be rough to watch. I'd put Diallo there. You know, Mason Mount comes back, Bruno, Mount, Diallo. I'd put Diallo at number 9. Like, you got to get someone running in behind. Somebody has that threat. And Rashford does it for United, but he's fighting the manager. We can't see it. That would be the best 11 with Rashford up front if he was in form and was on side.
If he wasn't like didn't
but
have
you get what the point I'm trying to make out. What we're dying for there.
We have players that, like, whether they're loaned out because they had a bad attitude or they're on the bench and can't make the squad because they have a bad attitude. We have players with bad attitudes that need to be like thinned out of the squad, but it shouldn't be that case because, like you said, like Rashford should be started as number 9 in this system because it would actually be effective because he's not going to get into wrestling matches with Saliba and Gabriel. He's going to just trying to make runs into the channel. And I hope Højlund can do that because this is going to be the same 11. He's going to stick with 11 because it was the best performance we've seen from this team under this manager probably this season. So I don't think any changes are happening. Let's get into the odds, sir. It is a cup competition, so we're doing straight to qualify. Arsenal minus 400 to make it to the next round. United plus 300. There you go.
You're making 3 times your money for United to win this game, sir. Remember, there are no replays in the FA Cup this year, so it will be decided. What is your score prediction? What is your score prediction for this game? Full time.
I'm calling 2-1 United. I think we get it. We get a solid win, a deserved win, and United move on to the 4th round of the FA Cup and beat, a bit of a wounded Arsenal at the moment. Sir, what's your score prediction?
This is brutal, sir. I'm going to say, I hate to say it, but I think we regress post-Liverpool. If I know this team, I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal do take it. But you have been catching me, sir. You've been making progress here in the match prediction game on the podcast. Alex, you got that score right. That kind of like gave you the boost. 55 to 34 points. So I'm feeling comfortable at my steak dinner, but not laughing about it like I used to. So you're definitely making never say die match prediction comeback. So good on you.
Amorim's red hour at me. I'm behind the new man. A lot of games left. Lot of games. By the way, sir, a lot of games left to break down. We cannot wait. Let's get a win in the FA Cup. Let's beat Arsenal. Let's knock them out of a cup that they want to win. They probably need it more than we do right now.
They do.
They're dying for a cup, and Arteta's under a little bit of pressure because they're almost certainly not going to win the league. They might, but it doesn't look like it. So let's get that, and I just want to be fighting for silverware. Even if we're in 10th place in the season, why don't we fight for silverware in the FA Cup and in the Europa League? That would be fun. Oh, by the way, the Europa League finals in Bilbao. It's supposed to be nice. I want to go there.
Support the podcast, americadevils.store. Grab a trucker hat, grab a scarf, grab some merch. Support the podcast. Also check out our Patreon, patreon.com/America Red Devils. Subscribe on YouTube. Like, subscribe. Let us know what you think the score should be for this game, or if you disagree with any of our hot takes on the FA Cup or this fixture. Only 30% of our viewers actually subscribe to the channel. So subscribe, help hack the algorithm, allow other Muppets to find our channel. Sir, give us our top 10 downloads last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? How you doing? Dublin, Ireland, Houston, Texas, Melbourne, Australia, Los Angeles, California, Brooklyn, New York, New York, New York, Manchester, England, Chicago, Illinois, Toronto, Canada, and Charlotte, North Carolina. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do without you. Big game on the weekend. FA Cup third round. Why not? Arsenal, United, Emirates. Let's take it to them. No excuses. Play like a champion. Amarin's Red Army. They'll be on the road. And they'll be cheering on the manager and any lads who want to run through a wall for said manager. See y'all next time.